My name is Garrett Sims, and we have a very special episode of Sports Timeout for you. Spring sports have started. We're going to get back into some regular episodes. And this week, we sat down with OHS's head track and field coach, Kinly Grubb, to talk about her first season taking over the Odessa program. I can't thank her enough for her time. And with that being said, let's get into the episode right now. Before we start this episode, we want to give a special shout out to the Bank of Odessa for supporting Sports Timeout. Bank of Odessa has been locally owned and operated since 1880. They have 4 locations, 2 in Odessa, 1 in Oak Grove, and 1 in Lamont. You'll find them at bankofodessa.com, member FDIC. My name is Garrett Sims. I have a very, very special guest with me. I have Kinly Grubb, who is an OHS legend, as well as the head track and field coach this season, and I just want to thank you so much, Kinly, for joining me.
Thank you, Garrett. Legend is crazy, but I appreciate it.
Well, and I'll just start off with, you were a role model to me, and I thank you so much for that and everything that you helped us do, and I'm so excited to see you give back to these kids.
Thank you. That is one of my goals. I know our high school time together was a little bit different because of the year and everything, but we had a fun time, and our high school experience was something I've been trying to get these kids to know. Like, it was different when we were in high school. We had so much fun. There was so much spirit. We loved it. And I know that's where you're coming from, too. So I just try to make that happen. And
it was all thanks to you guys, upperclassmen. And I'll quit kissing up a little bit. And I just want to ask you, you're getting into your first season as the head track and field coach. And I just want to ask you, how did that happen for you? And kind of take me through that.
I don't really know if it's a surprise. I didn't have any idea that I was going to apply for the head coaching position. I was coaching for the middle school team, the distance kids. I had about 20 kids on my little team right there. The middle school track team consistently has over 100 kids on it, so it's a huge program. And so I was very close with the team that I had. We were at the track one day, and Coach Thomas was like, "Hey, I'm retiring." I'm like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, have you thought about applying for the high school job?" And I'm like, "No." Like, what are you talking about? I'm only like 25. I don't know if I'm ready for that. And he was like, "No, you're ready for this. Like, I think you should do it. You'd be perfect for it." So, whatever. I go home, and he texts me, and he's like, "Did you send your application into Bagshaw yet?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm doing it right now." Like, sure, yeah, I just did it. So it kind of just happened. Which that is probably going to be a common theme today, like just Coach Thomas believing in me, and that's kind of how it happened.
Well, and I guess to sidestep, what does it mean to have that belief in somebody like Coach Thomas and to know you're ready when you're not even?
That is how he was since I met him, like, properly. I mean, he's always been close with my family. He's definitely a paternal figure in that sense for us. And I would say, like, 7th grade year, when he really first started to, like, get us middle schoolers involved with weightlifting and just trying to change how that whole program was for our district, really. And he was always like that from the first time I met him. Like, you can put weight on the bar. You can run faster. You can do better. Like, that's just always something he's had. And so, I don't know, I guess it means a lot. Like, that is,
yeah.
But I guess something that you don't really think about either. It's just always there. And so, you're not as scared when you make a leap like that. It's like, okay, Coach Thomas was confident. I'm going to be confident, kind of thing.
And is that something you're going to reach out to him for advice and stuff
already
like that?
Have.
Oh, you already have?
I talk to him almost every week, and he is busy at William Jewell. He's stepping into some new roles there, and he's really excited about it. But we had our first meet this week on Tuesday, and I was a nervous wreck. I tried to not let the kids know I was a nervous wreck, but I just wanted everything to go right. I wanted it to go perfect. And that is hard when you have that much stuff going on, but we made it work. And I was texting Coach Thomas. I'm like, "What did I forget? Like, do I have everything ready? What do I need?" And he was like, "No, don't overthink this. Like, you're going to do great. Everything's fine. You have a great staff with you," which I do. And I also lean on them a lot because they are so experienced. Like, it's crazy. I'm a lucky person to have them on my staff. But yeah, Coach Thomas, I text him all the time. He's like, "You don't stress out. You're going to be fine." I'm like, "Ooh, too late." But yeah, so I do talk to him all the time. He's probably annoyed.
And I kind of want to ask you, I know you said you guys have already ran a meet, but what are you most excited for this season as your first year as a head coach?
Oh, a lot of things. I set a few goals like for myself for the team, and I was most excited to get the kids back out for the sport. Like, track is so, running is everything you do. It's every sport that you're in. So it just makes, like, to me, it just makes sense. Like, if you're an athlete that's going to go play football and you want to get better at football, if you're an athlete and you're going to go play basketball and you want to get better at basketball, you have to be on the track team. Like, if you want to get faster, you want to get stronger, you want to be more explosive, like, track can give all those things to you. And so I was just trying to get more kids out to the sport and see that it's fun. Like, yeah, running sucks, but it is so good for you. It's beneficial, and I think we've done that. We've doubled our numbers. The kids are having a great time at practice. Our first meet went really well. So as far as being excited for the season, we're in it. We're doing great. Any day you can get us all out there.
And I just kind of want to ask you a little bit, can you describe your passion for the sport of track? And something I want to ask you about, and you kind of touched on this, but you do encourage kids to be multi-sport athletes. Yeah. And just take me through what, I know you've touched on it, but why that is so important.
Well, I think it just comes from, I was a multi-sport athlete. Both my sisters were, and all three of us went and played on to the college level. So I feel like even if you're not like a big like researcher and you don't want to go diving into textbooks or look on Google all day all long, like watch YouTube videos, like if that's not who you are, like take it from people who did it. And I just feel like the proof is in that pudding. Like, if you want to be successful in anything that you do, you've got to be able to adapt and do multiple things, and playing multiple sports does that. Track just adds to that. Coach Thomas, my dad, my grandpa, when I was a kid, we would go run like 5Ks and stuff, and my dad was not a soft encourager when we were little. He hadn't really developed the girl dad persona yet, but my grandpa had it. He had 8 granddaughters and 1 grandson. So I would always run with my grandpa, and he would always be like, you can keep running. Like, you can keep running. You can keep running. I'm like 8 years old. So those kinds of things kind of developed that passion, I guess. And then Coach Thomas in high school, my dad ran track, and my dad was an All-American. So I don't know. I just trusted them. And yeah, just that. Coach Thomas, I didn't run track my sophomore year because of basketball. I was trying to get recruited. And one of my club coaches said, you don't need to do track. You don't need to be multiple sport. Put all your focus into basketball and it'll work out for you. And I believed him. And then I didn't end up getting recruited until the end of my sophomore summer, really late. And so after that, I was like, I'm doing track. Like, I wasted the whole spring. Like, I'm doing track next year. So then my junior and senior year, like, obviously I came back out. And I was coached by Twilger and then Coach Thomas and had great success. So my passion definitely comes from family and just doing it for so many years.
And Kinly, something I really want to ask you is how do you keep your kids positive out on the track, and how do you keep them calm, cool, and collective for when they do compete?
I feel like this is a skill I'm still developing a little bit, because when you get out on the track, like, there's just a different energy. And the kids talk about all the time, they're like, Coach Grubb, I was so nervous all day today. Like, all I could think about was the track meet. Like, all I could think about was I was going to have to go run a 400. I'm like, I get it. And I can say that I get it because I did it. So I'm like, I did not, like, please don't give me any work that day because I won't do it. And that's what I told one of my teacher friends. I was like, I'm not scheduling meetings. This is track meet day. This is where my focus is. And she just kind of laughed at me. I'm like, well, that's crazy. It hasn't left, like that feeling. So I guess just knowing that I've experienced it and that I got through it, and that the feeling after you get done running that's just what I try to tell the kids all the time. Like, yes, this sucks. You can trust me. I know I did it, but you're going to be okay afterwards, and you're going to feel that much better. Like, imagine what it's going to feel like when you see the stopwatch and it has that time on it. Because I do always tell the kids, like, it doesn't matter, like, what place you get. Like, right now it's you versus the clock. Like, yeah, there's other people on the track. This help's going to push you, all those things. But it's you versus the clock. Like, that's, at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want to see the numbers drop. And so I feel like that kind of helps them. And just, I have a positive personality. Like, my just outlook on things, I don't know. I try to be that every day, because I've seen and I've experienced coaches that aren't able to, like, separate things. And it's just, it brings them down. And I'm like, I can see that. I don't want to bring that to the kids. So if, I just try to keep that like positivity, enthusiasm, and they usually follow right along. They're kids, they want to be happy.
Yeah.
Like, they are naturally people that want to just have fun. And so I feel like it comes naturally to me. It comes naturally to the kids when I'm out there. So it's not something we have to really work hard on, honestly.
And I kind of side topic a little bit here, but you bring that energy on the basketball court. I think in what you're saying, the kids do really respond really well to it, and I could just see you bringing that into track as well.
Yeah. My college experience, I had some college coaches that I had to have some hard, like, difficult conversations at Fort Hays. I wasn't going to play as much as I wanted. And the assistant coach and the head coach, Talia Cars, and then Tony Hobson, people I still look up to today and talk to all the time, they were like, you can choose right now, like, what kind of person you're going to be. You can let this hurt you and, take away from how much you love basketball, or you can completely change our team with how you are on the bench. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm here. I'm stuck in Hays, Kansas, 5 hours away. There's nothing out here. Like, I got to make the most of the situation. So I don't know. I learned from that, and I kind of just take that with me everywhere I go, every day. So yeah, the energy thing, that's kind of been that's been an easy thing for me.
And I kind of want to get into some of your leadership this season with your seniors, and I kind of want to ask you about them a little bit, and how have they made your first season easier?
Well, for starters, I had Brooklyn Burks and Kylie Thomas the entire basketball season for the last 2 years. So I kind of lean on them a lot because they are returners to the program. They're natural leaders in different ways. Burks is very, very vocal, and she knows how to say things. She's very precise, but she's also that positive reinforcement. And again, like, if I'm positive, she's positive, and it brings everybody along with us. Kylie is more of a doer, so she's very quiet, but she is going to do exactly what I say. She's going to go out there and do it 110%, and that makes the younger kids want to go along right with her. And then we have a late join, Kinly Grubb. She helped us taking pictures on Tuesday at the try, and she was like, Coach Grubb, I really miss running track. I'm like, it's never too late. Like, we're going to have to get your practices in, but we can figure out how to make that work. And so she's been at practice ever since. And so I feel like that isn't just another example. Like, you can do anything that you want, and we're going to support you. If you want to do it, we'll help you get there. And then the boys, Jaden Hollingsworth, he is a character. He is so funny. He very much took on the idea that he was going to try every event that he could this year because it's his senior year. And I was like, you know what? Go for it. I played tennis my senior year, and I've never touched a tennis racket before in my life, so I'm all for it. And then he threw his shoulder out a little bit in the javelin, like, before we had our first meet. And I was like, Jaden, I'm going to need you to run more events, so let's try to not get ourselves injured before we even start. And he's like, yeah, you're right. So he's funny. The kids look up to him. He's a hard worker. Who else do I have? Avery Marble. She's our only girl pole vaulter, and she's a great person. I'm like, hey, we got to convince more kids to get out on this pole vault pit because Mr. Miller is so knowledgeable about it. I'm like, we can really teach some kids how to make this event something for us. And so Avery, she's been great with that. She's trying to, get her thoughts in there with some of those younger kids. Like, this is so fun. Come hang out with us. Who else do we have? Sebastian Alejo. I don't think he ran track last year, but him and his brother have joined our team this year. Sebastian is another kid that I'm like, I'm just so glad I met you.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't a basketball player. I know you played soccer. I watched you guys play. But I'm so glad that I met you. I'm so glad that you're here. He's another pole vaulter. And then we have Wiley Smith. She is our hurdler, going strong. She wanted to do the 300 hurdlers this year and the 100s. And then after our first try, she was like, no, I need to just do the 100s. So she didn't have a great showing, but again, that determination, she came up to me afterwards. She was like, that wasn't good enough. Like, I know where I want to get back to. I know I want to try to get to state. And we have to make some changes so we can get her there. And again, that vocal leadership, she had a great wrestling season. So yeah, I'm excited to have all of them on the team. We have a really big freshman class, sophomore class that have come out for the sport. So those seniors are going to be a vital part of just kind of showing them the ropes and showing them that it's okay to be on the track team and try hard and work through some things.
And I kind of want to ask you, just a little bit about when these kids do come out here and you're coaching them, how do you build the relationships with them, and what type of relationship do you want to build with them?
Absolutely. Part of the interview process was like a main focus for us, because I think it's important for the kids now. Like, they really have to know that you care about them for them to work hard and like want to run through a wall for you. Like, I feel like when we were growing up, we kind of just took the authority figure as it was. Like, if it was Coach Thomas telling me to run through the wall, I knew who he was, so I was going to run through the wall.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had that relationship, so it was a little bit different. But I mean, there was kids that didn't have that relationship yet with him, and they were like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to step up to the line and do that. The kids are a little bit different. So now, it's just, like I said, part of that interview process was making sure that I was going to be able to do that and make sure that that was a priority. And that's the main thing. Like, if the kids know that you're there for them and they know that you love them and you support them, they're going to do just about anything that you ask them to do. So I just show up first in that way, like ask them how their day was. I tried to make it to every single different sporting event that we've had throughout the year. Like, basketball season was a little bit harder, but because we're so busy, but cross country meets I coached the middle school team, so I saw a lot of my kids there that I have now. I went to football games. I went to boys soccer games. Girls tennis I didn't make it out to, but there was a lot of softball games I was able to go to. So yeah, I just took that approach first. Like, I want them to be multi-sport athletes, so I'm going to show up for their multi-sports.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that went a long way for them. Like, oh, that's Coach Grubb. Like, why is she here? Well, because she wants me to be good. She wants to support me. She wants to, help develop me as a person and an athlete.
One fun question I always like asking is, at the end of the season or at their end of their careers, what is one thing you want your athletes to learn from you? Is there it could be a piece of advice or just a life lesson or anything like that? And I asked that question because of Coach Thomas.
Yeah, right. I hope, does he listen to these? I hope Coach Thomas is an avid fan, because I bet he gets talked about all the time.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that he always told me was, I learned how to coach kids differently because of you. And I take that with me every day. And so the thing that I would tell the kids is, like, just be who you are, because people that want to help you will figure out how to help you. They're not going to make you change. They're not going to ask you to be a different person. They're going to help you work through your problems. They're going to help you solve your problems. All you have to do is be you. You don't have to change. And I just always, like, be kind, have energy, be enthusiastic always. But that's just how I show up as a person. I feel like they kind of gather that. I don't really have to say that to them. So I would say just be who you are. You don't have to change. That would be it. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I kind of ask another question here is there any events that in particular you're looking forward to that you're going to compete really strong at this year? Is there any that are standing out so far to you?
So after our first meet, I feel like there were a lot of different kids where we went into the try thinking, this is a time trial, absolutely. We're going to put as all of our kids that we have on our team, if they have enough practices to go out there, we're putting them on the track. But we're putting them in events. So that was rough to have to go in and put all the entries in afterwards, but we got through that. So there was a lot of kids where I was like, oh, like there's some light bulbs going off. Levi Neal, he's a sophomore. He has been working so hard in the pole vault. He's trying to go for the school record, which is 13.6. And he cleared 12 at our try, first meet of the year. Super easy, and got up to 13, and I think he knocked it on the way down. So I'm excited to watch him and see what he can do in the pole vault. Natalie Doney, she's a returner. She's just a very talented person in general. Like, she does all the things. She's a race car person. She does band. She does cross country. She does everything. She's really strong in the 800. She holds the school record in that. And then the mile, she brings everything she has every time she runs. And then our throwers, Brooklyn Burks, she's just always motivated to get better. And I think that's a special quality to have, especially as a senior. She's going to college for softball, so she easily could have been like, I'm just out for track for fun. But that's not the mindset she's taking at all. She's like, yeah, we got bumped up to class 4, but I'm going to state. Like, I need to get better. I need to throw some PRs here early in the season. So Brooklyn's going to do great. Wiley in the hurdles, I kind of touched on her. Bella Blackaby and McKenna Bass are my two standouts, I would say, for sprinters for the girls' side for sure. They are going to compete very well in the 100, the 200. I'm going to put them in our relays so we can get some teams, to compete in postseason. Last year, the girls, the 4x1 team went to state, made it all the way. So that would be my goal, is to at least get one relay team for the girls, one relay team for the boys. We have so many kids, so many pieces that we can move around. I don't see why we couldn't do that.
And, I wanted to ask you, is there a special motto that you have for the team this season, and why does it apply to this team?
Okay, good question. I'm not a big talker. Like, this podcast is going to be in contrast to that, because I feel like this is easy to talk to you. But when I get out there on the track, I'm like, I feel like I just need them to get on the line and run. I'm not a big motivational speaker, so to say. Like, I don't want them to sit and listen to me get on my soapbox. So I don't know, I feel like we just preach to the kids every day, you have to give 110%. And if you don't put 110% in at practice, you're not going to be able to put 110% out on the meet day. Like, you're going to get to the line and you're going to get smoked, and you're going to have to reflect and be like, yeah, I didn't work hard this week in practice, or I'm behind in this. Like, it's okay. We've got to be able to take that, reflect, learn from, what we know now, and go from there. So I feel like just preaching that, like, showing up, working hard every day, giving 110% is what's going to matter on meet day. So I guess if we had to call that one, that would be the one. And
you said something that I wanted to ask you more about. You guys are moving up to class 4. Is that something you expected? And just kind of, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so what I remember from when I was in high school, we had to deal with the same thing. Mm-hmm. One year we'd be class 3, one year we'd be class 4, and then we'd bump back down, bump back up. Like, Luke Tripp was one of my high jumper friends that I looked up to. He's only a year older than me, and he's married to my cousin, has some kids and one on the way. So I get to see him and talk to him all the time. And he was like, yeah, my senior year we were class 3, and I was like, my senior year we were class 4. So it just, I don't know, like, I just feel like Odessa is always right on that line, and we're an easy one to move. Like, we could either be the smallest one in class 4 or we're the biggest one in class 3. So it's like, oh, well, they had X amount of kids, like, we got to bump them up. I'm like, well, is that really fair? Because now we're the smallest in class 4, and we got to deal with this. So I don't know. It is kind of tricky. Some of the seniors were, I think, hoping to be class 3 again because they had so much success in class 3 last year. So that was kind of a hurdle we had to get over together, and, like, reassure them, like, we're going to do everything we can. It doesn't matter who's running that day. It matters how you show up and you get on the line, or you step into the ring, and what you can do that day. So just trying to reassure them of that. I kind of was expecting it, just because I knew that's happened before. It wasn't a shock.
And, yeah, that's just a crazy thing to happen, because I know it happened with the football team too, and it's that borderline deal, and you just got to deal with it.
And we can't control it. Like, there's nothing that we can do that's like, oh, well, can we call someone and be like, can you put us back in class 3? Like, that doesn't work. So,
like how Coach T used to change the weather. Hey, Coach T, can you change the classes?
He would try.
Yeah, he would. And I want to ask you, as you get into the program here and as you take over your first year, what's something you want to see the track program do? And obviously, I know you said increase numbers, but what do you want to see over the next couple of years?
So what I observed when Coach T was the coach was that just kids didn't want to be out there, and he was trying everything he could. He was trying everything he could. He was bringing different things to the table, and the boys team was just, there were no football players out there. There weren't a ton of basketball players out there. So I don't know. One of the goals I had was boys relay teams, and see if we could put one together for each event, like a 4x8, 4x1, 4x2, 4x4. Like, those, track is a very individualized sport. So anybody can go out and run the open events, and it looks really cool, and they run really fast and all the things. But most people want to see the relays. They want to see the kids get out there and work together and see who can win, put the best time together. So we did that at the Tri. We had 2 boys teams for every event. for the relays. So I feel like that was a huge step in the right direction. Our 4x8 and our 4x4, those are going to be some big, it's the first event and the last event. Those are going to be some big draws for us. And then just trying to maneuver some of my senior athletes. Amari's going to kill me. Amari Powell. He's on vacation this week, so I didn't see him. He's also a senior. He came out for track. He's going to be a big part of those sprint relays that we have. So, yeah, I feel like just getting a boys team relay together for everyone, that's another goal that I have.
And I'll just ask you one last question here. What does it mean to get to come? I know you've been here for a little bit. What does it mean to give back to this community that has supported you? And
sure.
Just take me through that.
So I feel like actually when I graduated in 2018, I kind of ghosted the town. Like I was like, peace out. I'm going to go out there and live my life and take everything that I learned from Odessa and, you know, all the lessons and all the people. I'm going to take them with me. But I was kind of like, yeah, I'm going to go experience this big world because Odessa's kind of a small town. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, when I came back, you know, when my dad got sick, I was moving back from Charleston. I had lived a great life. I was like, yeah, this is amazing. I was not a teacher yet. I was still working for a company called Dental Exchange, and I was staring at spreadsheets all day, every day. And I don't know how people do that. I don't know how they work from home. I genuinely, like, I was like, this is not for me. I need to get outside. I need to be with kids. I need to, like, just talk to people. And so, yeah, my mom and her friend Morgan Schauberg were a big part in, like, saying, you know, this might be something you'd be really good at. And we have this opening. Would you be interested in interviewing for it? And it was in the special education department at the middle school. And obviously, I know Kendra and Melizzi very well. I've gotten to know Mr. Hotmer very well, you know, as through this last couple of years. And honestly, I don't know what I'd be doing if I hadn't taken that leap either, because I definitely feel like I found my niche, so to say, like my calling. That sounds kind of cheesy, but like I really love my job. I love every part of going to the middle school and teaching kids all day, and then also getting to go, you know, coach high schoolers and then coach the middle schoolers in there too. It's like, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I don't know, being able to give back to the people that taught me, and like there's still teachers at the middle school that were my teachers, and like Mr. LeBoux is the principal at OUE. He was one of my teachers, and now I coached his kids. So it's like, it's just, I don't know, so full circle. And it's just, I feel like that's what makes Odessa so special, is like we all loved it so much that we want to come back and give to the kids the way that we were given too. So I feel like that kind of sets us apart and just gives us a little bit of a competitive edge, if I were to say.
I like that a lot, and I just can't thank you enough for your time. Is there anything else you want to say, Kinly?
No, I love coaching the track team. Having 60 plus kids is major, and it was, like I said, is an adjustment to getting to know all those different personalities, figuring out the coaching style that every kid needs, and just honestly keeping track of them every day. That is a big part of my job, is like, where is this person? Where are they? Oh, they're with Mac, or oh, they're in the weight room doing weights and then they're coming out. You know, it's always a balancing act, but I wouldn't change it. I do have one shout out I want to give, is like our fundraiser. We've raised almost $10,000 for the track program this year. So if anybody's listening to this saying, you know, that they donated to that, it was for our backpacks and our t-shirts, but you know what? We've made that much money. I think I'm going to buy a little bit of more stuff for my kids. Like, it was a huge deal. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for supporting me and supporting the kids. I couldn't thank everybody enough. And thank you, Garrett.
No, just thank you so much for coming in here and doing this with me. It means a lot. And with all that, this has been our guest interview with head coach Kinly Grubb. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Sports Timeout. Thank you so much to Kinly Grubb for her time and coming into the office and recording a podcast with me. It obviously means a lot. Make sure you're picking up your copy of the Odessan to catch all the other sports information we're not mentioning on the podcast, as well as other local government news and information. Thank you guys so much, and we'll have another episode for you next week.